The final mile, how Emma conquered her impossible dream. Emma Reed wasn't a born athlete. In fact, she was the exact opposite, a young woman who spent most of her life avoiding challenges. But one fateful day, Emma made a decision that would change her life forever. This is the story of how she turned her greatest fear into her greatest triumph. Emma grew up in a small town where people rarely dared to dream big. She was an ordinary woman with an ordinary life, working long hours at a local cafe and struggling to make ends meet. But what made Emma stand out was her constant battle with self-doubt. She was afraid to try anything new, afraid to fail, and most of all, afraid to disappoint herself. One day, while cleaning tables at the cafe, Emma overheard a group of customers talking about an upcoming marathon. They spoke of the thrill, the challenges, and the triumph of crossing the finish line. Something stirred inside her. Could she, a person who had never even run a mile, do something extraordinary like that? That night, Emma made a bold decision. She signed up for the marathon, not because she believed she could win, but because she needed to prove something to herself. It wasn't about being the best. It was about becoming better. The first day of training was brutal. Emma couldn't run more than 2 minutes without gasping for air. Her legs felt like lead, and every step was a reminder of how far she had to go. Neighbors laughed, friends doubted her, and even Emma began to question herself. But deep down, she clung to a single thought: one step at a time. To stay motivated, Emma surrounded herself with inspiration. She wrote quotes like, "Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid, it means you don't let fear stop you." These words became her fuel, driving her to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning to train. Just as Emma started making progress, disaster struck. She twisted her ankle during a training run and was told to rest for weeks. For Emma, it felt like the end of the road. She was ready to give up, but then she remembered why she started: to conquer her fear of failure. With time, Emma recovered. But this time, she was more determined than ever. She adjusted her training, focused on building strength, and ignored the voices telling her to quit. Each day was a small victory, and each mile brought her closer to the starting line of the marathon. The big day finally arrived. Emma stood at the starting line, her heart pounding. The runners around her looked like professionals, but she reminded herself, "This race is mine to run, no one else's." The marathon was grueling. By mile 10, Emma's legs were cramping, and by mile 15, she was ready to quit. But as she slowed down, a little girl on the sidelines held up a sign that read, "You're stronger than you think." Those words reignited Emma's spirit. After hours of running, Emma crossed the finish line. She wasn't the fastest, nor was she the most graceful, but she had done it. She had defied the odds, silenced her doubts, and proved that courage and determination could conquer anything. Emma's story isn't just about running a race. It's about breaking free from the limits we place on ourselves. She showed us that no matter how ordinary we feel, we all have the power to achieve something extraordinary. If Emma's story inspired you, hit the like button and share this video with someone who needs a boost of motivation. Don't forget to subscribe to InspireStreams for more incredible stories of resilience and triumph. What's your impossible dream? Share it in the comments below.